Good morning, guys. Frustrated trading. This is how I start my day before I get going. So let's quickly have a look at this. I've got Bitcoin on the screen here, and the key here is I'm thinking that this thing is waking up. Seriously, I'm waking up. Now, I'm not blind to the following. This is the following, the big picture stuff. Bitcoin on the weekly, it's simple. Don't overcomplicate it when you think about any coin, not just Bitcoin, any coin. It's simple. Where is the big candles? Now, I've got the indicator on, but if you have a candle simply as that, just normal, look at the candles. Where's the big candles? When we were in a bull cycle, the big candles were always the blue candles. This is where the control was. You can clearly see. And then when the candles that had all the wicks, what color were they? They were the ones with the small bodies. They were blend between orange and blue. That's where the correction was. So your big candles were impulses, big candles were impulses. And when we started blending candles, turning blue, orange with the wicks, that's where corrections were. And then this makes it very simple for us to have a bias for being bullish, because now you have an uptrend, you have a correction, you have an uptrend, you have a correction, you have an uptrend, and then yet again, you have a correction. It's simple. Now what are we doing weekly time frame? The big candles are turning orange, and the blue candles, the blend is to the upside. So what is this telling me? It's just saying to me that we're basically getting ready for a trend to the downside, and upside momentum is corrective, which means this is what happens. It chops you up. It goes to the upside, goes to the downside, and then it feels like whatever you're doing, if you go long, it's going to take you out. If you go short, it's going to take you out. And that's exactly what people experience here. It's just the market correcting. This means this is how I trade this, just to try and get myself out of the funk, just to not fall victim to this kind of environment. It's simple. But when on the 4-hour time frame, I'm trying to look for a continuation of the trend. Now, I'm trading against the current grain of the market because I'm expecting an upwards correction. And we're bouncing at the bottom of a range. If we look at it like this, after Bitcoin went down in November 2025, we tested $81,000. We started becoming range bound. We had a little bit of a January New Year's hype pump, and we fell back into the range, and now we're testing the range. And the rule when we lateral range trading, meaning there's the upper boundary, there's the lower boundary, you can switch to a line tool that will simplify this for you. The rule is simple. You're bullish at the bottom, you're bearish at the top. That's it. Which means where we're at right now, I want to be bullish considering that this is the low. And any upside that I can pick off, if I'm getting to the upper end of the range, I want to be hedging that, trading short, not necessarily killing the longs, but taking another bet saying that maybe the market wants to do that again. And the reality is a range-bound environment means that we're going to keep on doing this until the market, Bitcoin, sorts itself out. Whatever needs to be sorted out. Until price figures out what it wants to do next, it's going to keep on chopping like that. Taking this 4-hour time frame analysis, then I'm saying to myself, I'm using my buddy, which is a simple tool for me. It helps me stay in the moves. It's saying to me now that on the 4-hour, we are starting to establish a bullish momentum. So the analysis guide, I'll make the text box a little bit bigger for you guys so you can have a look at this. On the 4-hour time frame, the trend has turned blue. The colors are overridden blue, which means that this would be a no-go zone. Anything below that would engulf all this momentum. Have we made a higher high yet? No, we have not made a higher high yet. So the bears are definitely still in control, which means from a momentum point of view, you can clearly see. Sorry, guys, I thought my phone was on silent, but this is how typically this works. Let me just switch it on silent. We haven't had a higher high just yet, which means that there's still risk. And the analysis is basically pointing to weak bearish continuation. How would I short this? What would I need to see? Well, simple. We do have hidden bearish divergence. It's there. And we do have a scenario where price is exactly in that hidden bearish reversal pocket. So going long right now could be detrimental to my account balance because this is statistically the area where we need to short the market. But I want to try and trade against the grain for the reason that if I take that away and I say to myself, where are we within structure? we bounced off the bottom of a lateral range. And the rule is, as I always say, you stick to your trading rules. Bullish at the bottom, bearish at the top. The time to short this was there. Now is the time to try and long this and let the market figure itself out. Structure analysis on this as well, based on this, the big resistance level. The last divergence pivot was created at 95, which means from a bear point of view, from a bearish point of view, we can argue that the continuation of this wave would probably happen there, which will then put this into a more harmonious trend. So if we want to be really bearish, the time to short this would be in that zone there, not here. You can scalp short this, but that would be the area for the swing short. Okay, now we've got a little bit of background information. You know where we are, range bound. You understand where we're at. Good morning, Mr. Guillaume Photographic, and I think it's Yaku. Good morning, Stanku, and anybody else tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Say hi. This is a typical market tactics video. I'm just sharing it with everybody publicly. Now, let's quickly go through everything that needs to happen publicly before we start the day. So it's important that if you want to ask questions, remember, guys, it's a dedicated question channel for you. If you want to refer to the bigger picture stuff, your investment bags, your HODL bags, not financial advice, the report lives within the HODL report, where I'm thinking what I'm looking at buying. And then obviously all the trading for this week will be happening within this trade. I tried to take a lab long last night, and that thing almost looked nice, and then at some stage stopped me out. These are still the coins that I'm interested in. Axel, I'm still interested in Lab, and I am getting excited for Bitcoin to try and go long. The rules are simple, guys. For the week so far, I'm down 3.5% on the losers. Before we trade, make sure that you always look at the trade rules. Make sure you know how the strategies works. Sometimes it does that. I don't know why. I can do this and go back, and then the text would be fine. Make sure you know how the strategies works. Make sure that you consult the trade guide and you understand how the buddy indicator works as well. There's everything that you would need to go through to read on how the indicator works. And the last little thing is, adjust your portfolio, your risk according to the portfolio guide, which clearly defines and sets everything for you up, how much you need to be allocating for where, because trading is risky, guys. There's no, as I always say, it's like everybody always says, past results does not guarantee future outcomes. And that's true, because you could be on a lucky run and then you bet everything and then it starts failing and then you lose on everything. So you never want to do that. You always want to have a strategy behind how you allocate your portfolio. So have a look at that as well. Right. Now, trade rules are simple, guys. There's a lot of them. I'm not going to go through them too much. It's going to make this video longer than I wanted to do. But the big thing is, big three for me is be fit. I don't trade if I didn't go to the gym today or to the morning. Okay. You have to be detached. If you're trading with that desperation, please, it needs to win, you're just going to look at all the losers, because you're going to be on the wrong frame of mind, and you cannot have a standard attitude. Think about this. Everybody knows how TA works. Everybody's got the same tools and information, and 90% is losing money. So your thought pattern needs to be different. And that's what we do here. We try and think differently. Okay, there you have it. Now, applying the buddy strategy, for me, simple. We've turned blue on Bitcoin, finally on the 4-hour. We're at the bottom of the range. So analysis speaking wise, this is a good area for us to start building a base. The 4-hour has established an uptrend. If we then zoom over to the 1-hour, let's have a look at this. The 1-hour as well has established an uptrend. So we can start tracking this. High, higher high. So now we've got a clear line defined for ourselves. We do not want to see this thing fall below this, or else we're going to just do more chop, do more damage. Now I can narrow down my trading. That's the beauty about this. Now, we can try and make this as perfect as you want. There's the highest high. But with trend lines and any of these things, give a little room for, for movement. Life is messy. Stuff will do stuff like this, okay? But now we have that trend established. So we've got the 4-hour confluence. The 4 hours telling us we want to turn bullish. We've got the 1 hour that's telling us that we want to turn bullish, and that we need to reclaim 89,300. Let's just make this 1 hour big again. We need to reclaim 89,300. I'll make it big so you guys can see it. No, yeah, it's big. Okay, there we go. Click on the button. Come on. Trading view, 1, 2, 3, go. There we go. We want to reclaim 89, and then the entire time frame will be aligned bullish, which is really good for us. This means that when we zoom into the 15-minute time frame, we're waiting for exactly that. We're waiting for the 15-minute, which is already turned bullish, to do a correction. Now, why would I do that? Well, if the 1 hour time frame is setting itself up for a move to the upside, we're looking for an impulse on the smaller time frames. And how would that normally look? It would be something like this. If you go textbook version of this, it would be something like this. I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the reason I'm waiting for the 15-minute to correct is because on the 1 hour, all of this would be blue. But on the 15-minute, you will have blue, and then orange. You have blue, then orange, and you have blue. You can see as we're trying to build a base, blue, then orange, blue, then orange, and then blue. So I don't enter. I'm not entering just because the higher time frames is showing signs of momentum. I need the fact that the higher time frames are showing signs of momentum. Let's just make this small again. The high time frames are showing signs of momentum. Great. They're turning blue. Ours turning blue. Turned blue as well. I want to now wait for the lower time frame to finish a corrective wave. Reason for that? Then I can assign and say that this is truly a 1. Now we've corrected a 2. And then I'm trading leg 3 from 2 to 5. Let a little bit go always to find out where the move is, and then you get in on that move. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not going to ape into Bitcoin right now. It feels like it. I'm not going to do that. I'll wait for this to give me that corrective move. Once it does do that, I'll get in. But clearly you can see on the smaller time frame, where's the big candles? The big candles are blue. The bulls are in control. Here we still had a little bit of a 50-50 split between the bulls and the bears. I'm really optimistic for Bitcoin for today. It's an opinion. I'm trading the system that I've developed, and whether this then ends up being the right call, time will tell, you know. All you can do is trade the system and let statistics put it into your favor. Good example is gold. Gold's kind of running away from me right now. Frustratingly, today it's up another 1.5%, but let's do the same analysis just to show to you guys how simple it works. There, the 4 hour turned blue. Great. Let's take that line, copy, apply it to the 1 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. There, the 1 hour turned blue. So now I've got 4 hour and 1 hour confluence that it's turning blue. The trend is bullish. This means then, if I then put that same line down here on the 15-minute, what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for the 15-minute. I'm just going to delete that. I'm waiting for the 15-minute to complete the move that it's in, shake people out, then turn blue again, and then I enter. I enter on a simple basis that I use the 3-candle rule or the 5-candle rule, which means when I enter my first position, my swing position, I'm just not trying to get stopped out. It's simple. I'm just saying I'm allowing the market to just give me a little bit of a chop, because it's going to be choppy. I don't want to get stopped out. And then I'll stay in the move for as long as this analysis is saying to me, all the time frames are aligned, hold your long. And if you reply, or what I'll do for you guys, I'm just going to rewind into this corrective area. You'll see that although the trend is turning, momentum is trending, it's still saying to you that the higher time frame is still supporting more upside, which means that this then becomes my swing position. And because I have the trader mode selected, I have all these areas where I can look for scalp trades in harmony with the current trend. And as time goes on, I'm just going to take this away, leave. Time goes on, I stay in the move for as long as that strategy tells me to hold my move, which means for gold, you would still be holding your gold. Now, at this stage, that's a 12-to-1 risk-reward ratio, meaning if you risk $100 on a stop, meaning I'm entering right there at the turn, and 5 candles back, it will cost me $100 out of my account. I would be sitting with $1,200 on that position only. But then it doesn't even equate for the fact that there you would have entered another long, 1, 2, and 3 TPs would have hit. There you would have entered another long, 1, 2, 3 TPs would have hit. There you would have entered another long, and all its TPs have hit. Because now you're trading in harmony with the trend. It makes life easier. That's it. So now you know why I'm looking at Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is at. It's on the early stages. Still needs to go through all the last phase of this. So I'm giving you a heads up. I'm not telling you after the fact, which doesn't help anybody. I'm giving you guys a heads up. Come on, trading load. My internet seems to be very unstable these days. It's frustrating. So I'm giving you a heads up. I want to see a correction. I want to see orange. I want to see a little bit of correction. Then I want to get my ass in on Bitcoin. And I'm going to give you a heads up on coins I'm looking at as well. So the first one for today is FOGO, up 17% already. Looking at the screener, let's bring that over, up 18% on the day. So FOGO, Hype, Pump.fun, Saint, all these really look really juicy for me for today. So I want to try and trade those ones. Okay, let's apply. Well, if TradingView wants to load, I don't know what's wrong here. It doesn't want to load. Thoughts on Hype? Yes, nice move, guys. I just want to stick with Hype. I want to try and get in on the move, ride it as far as I can go. Good morning to you as well, my friend, and hope you have an awesome day trading. So FOGO is moving in the same direction. So if you have a look at this, what has happened here now? The 4-hour has turned bullish. Great. The 1 hour is bullish as well. Great. So now we've got 2 time frames in alignment here. I should actually just do this. There we go. There we go. 2 time frames in alignment, which means the trend to the upside has been established. Now, FOGO is new. Think about it like this. 4-hour time frames just launched. It's new. There's, I don't know where the price discovery, sky's the limit, or the floor. I don't know where the floor is going to be. But that's why I have to have a setup where I can draw a line on an invalidation. Okay, so FOGO is setting itself up nicely. FOGO here on the 15-minute, what am I looking for? I'm looking for this to turn orange. I need the wave to complete. Just turn orange, because then I can say, finally, that's maybe 1. For more to come, you know, I don't know where the 3 and the 4 and the 5 is going to be, how high it's going to be, but that's the playbook here. So you now have a heads up. This is a buy the dip coin for today, as long as the previous conditions remain there. And in order for that to be invalidated, FOGO needs to fall below 36 probably, or 0.36. I'm just going to say 36. I'm just going to leave the 0 in the commas out, because yeah, the pricing on these things can sometimes be a little bit crazy. Okay. I still want to go long lab. Lab, I was really optimistic that this 4-hour was going to turn bullish. And I was really optimistic that I'll be able to get a nice long swing on it. But yesterday, on the copy trade account, the Bitmart account, statistics, I'll bring it over real quick for you guys. There's the Bitmart account. I went short lab because the higher time frame just didn't want to move. And then it just chopped me out. So we're still up 26% for the month so far on this account. I'm happy with the stats so far. And it means that until the 4-hour resolves itself, because this is still just corrective, you know, it's going to chop you up. So what did I do? I thought I was on the anticipation that we're going to go get a trend. The market did sign up for everything, but then it just chopped. So this is the flip side to the strategy. The market can sometimes just surprise you. I mean, everything looked really good right there, and there it stopped me out and validated the move. Funny enough, now we're chopping, and now I'm waiting again. So I'm still going to keep my eye on lab. I'm still going to get my entry on lab. I'll probably swing long this once this turns blue. But if it ends up dumping, then I'm dumping it. I'm long fight at the moment as well in this account, but fight is still at my entry. And yet again, I am trying to preemptively get myself into this move on the 4-hour, expecting that typically these triangle patterns will resolve themselves, And statistically, 65% of the time, they'll break up in favor of the trend that created it. Doesn't mean they can't go there. Doesn't mean that it can't just keep on doing this as well, and then your beautifully drawn triangle pattern ends up meaning nothing. But while we're there, we can only trade with the data and the information we have in hand. 1 hour time frame for fight, it's showing you that it wants to. The momentum's there. We're building divergence pivots. That's really good. There's divergence there, hidden bullish divergence. It's trying to get that momentum. So a break to the upside is really positive for this one, for fight. 15-minute time frame. Once the 4 hour aligns with the 1 hour, I'll come back to the 15-minute and I'll try and get my entry in. Now, like I said, I've got a really small position. I'm just trying to slowly just tag in a little bit of a position in there. So once fight runs, it might run. What is fight? Fight, it is the UFC's official rewards token. Let's put it like that for anybody in there. Do I think that this is overvalued right now? Yes, I do think this has got a $45 million market cap. Just doesn't make sense for an online rewards program. 48 million. This is typically why these things dump. Just doesn't make sense to me. But we'll trade it. We'll take it as it goes. So there's fight. Axel did look beautiful yesterday. I really wanted to try and get in. But we've now started engulfing this. So it's invalidated itself long before we even got the entry. So I've got my Blofin account open. I'm ready, fingers on the button, but Axel is just not giving me the move. Then I kind of scan through all the other coins trying to look for something, and Rats does look really good for us as well. So what do we have on Rats? We've got the 4 hour that's turned bullish. Let's mark this out. 4 hour turned bullish at that point. I'm going to copy that line over, bring it over to the 1 hour. Let's quickly see when that happened. So the 1 hour turned bullish as well, roughly at the same time. And this then means that we're looking for the wave to complete itself on the 15-minute. And then we enter on the next time it turns blue, which would potentially put it like this. This is a 1, 2, and then this would be your 3. Now we're waiting for 4, and then there would be a 5. And all of this would then be on the 1 hour, and then to the 4 hour, just be a 1 with more coming our way. So I'm really excited about Rats as well. So have a look at this. Memes are picking up again, and there's definitely some unfinished business there. I'm scanning this. I'm patient with this one. Yeah, let's see. 4 hour time frame. Big picture. Let's big picture Rats real quick. I'll even go, let's go weekly time frame. Let's really big picture this real quick. Dumped hard, long accumulation. We've broken out. Unfinished business there, unfinished business there. 2 areas where price is probably going to want to migrate towards. Having a smaller time frame leverage position and holding it for these levels would change the way your portfolio looks forever. There you have it. Guys, have a lovely day. Thanks so much. I'll be on YouTube, formal YouTube, a little bit later today. This is Market Tactics. This is how it runs in the Discord. And if you want to have access to this, all you need to do is just go to my WAP page. There it is. You get access to the indicators, everything in there. And if you open a Prime XBT account this week using my partner link, you can find the link in the Discord. There you go. If you open one there with my partner link there, deposit $1,000 and take 1 trade, I'll give you a week free access to the Discord and the indicators. So you can go check it out for yourself. It's as simple as that. All you need to do to claim that is just open a support ticket, send me your Prime XBT user ID, and once verified, I'll give you access. There you have it. Have a lovely day. I'll see you a little bit later because I really want to dive into fight and the socios argument for there's fundamentally probably a really good trade waiting for us on that. So I'm excited to share that with you guys a little bit later today. And then obviously there's a few other coins and a few other big picture things that I want to share. So have a lovely morning. See you in a few hours. Cheers, everybody.